there. 6 sheet. What are we looking at here? I want to make sure Tesla's on here somewhere. We can get rid of Nikola. Tesla. And then I'm going to go up here. What time is it? It's market open time. It's battery day today, ladies and gentlemen. Battery day. Super pumped for that. So ACRX got some good news this morning, guys, as well as BlackBerry. So let's head into that, see if I can't grab those and pull them up. Yeah, here it is, US Air Force, BlackBerry Spark, and then ACRX. I don't know that the news is going to be on Seeking Alpha yet. No, I'm starting to play around with the idea, Linda, of doing an early morning session when you do your due diligence and breakdowns, and then coming back live for the market for a few hours and just playing around as the market opens, letting people see what's actually going on, what I'm looking at, what I'm watching. It's a little bit different. It would take my time up to probably about 5 hours of streaming a day. Um, but yeah, I think this time slot also allows people who otherwise wouldn't be able to watch the channel. You know what I mean? So pretty pumped about that. Let's go. Want to go here? Want to go here? And we'll do this. Just want to make sure that the thumbnail is on here. And then I also want to go to this and this. We'll throw the disclaimer and whatnot on there. Okay, and we'll get the Restream chat up here, and we are good to go. Any idea on where Logitech's going today? I don't know. We can take a look as the market opens. The big one, yeah. I mean, I love that idea of that constant cycle of learning more to make more. Um, Logitech. I don't know that Logitech is actually a huge focus today for me. We'll see what happens out the gate here, but what do we got pre-market? ONTX is going. No, okay, had to refresh there. David's T. Hmm. What's up, 80 ADHD ADD? No, I don't want this. They keep at this site always asks you, "Hey, you're Canadian. Are you sure you don't want the Canadian stuff?" Yeah, I'm sure. Nobody wants the Canadian stuff. It's looking like Tesla is down pre-market. Financial calendar, there isn't much there today. Sauna time, sweet. Bring the phone in the sauna with you, right? No. Need a next gen device for that. Yeah, the sauna phone. Okay, so that's that. Let's go. Hmm. Okay, breakdown of Tesla battery day. So the announcements and events start at 4:30 today, guys. So the market is going to have a lot of conjecture as to what's going on. Tesla's 449. This analyst has a $400 price target. Sunui, what's up? Um, Many expect the sell in the news reaction, but stock ultimately bought on weakness. The bar is rather high into the event. Um, Morgan Stanley is expecting Tesla to offer their battery technologies to other companies. I think the bigger thing would be not at all, man. Happy to do it. I think the bigger news wouldn't be that they're sharing battery technology. I think the bigger news would be that Tesla's going to allow other cars to use their network, their charging network, for a fee. I think if that's the news that drops, we are looking really good. To not make it proprietary so that you could charge any vehicle on the Tesla network, I think that would be massive for them. Because they own that network. They would just charge the dealerships themselves, not the consumer, but charge the dealerships. The other car manufacturers charge Ford, charge GM, um, Nikola, charge all of them the cost to actually make this happen. I think that's probably the best way to go. Um, Can we do a poutine cooking stream later? I actually think I have leftover poutine from the restaurant last night. Went out with the family to celebrate after ACRX running, so I might actually have poutine for lunch. I don't know how long I'm gonna go. I am going to go today, guys. I don't know if this is gonna be all day. I don't know if it's gonna be a little bit. Um, I did not trim ACRX. What? No, I'm live. I just have you guys muted so the stream can't hear, so I'll just be popping in and out. If we But if we actually start having one of those conversations where we keep saying, we should record this when we're actually talking about this stuff, I may let you guys know that I'm going to unmute, and that way people can hear the conversations that we are having of value. But I'll mute it again when we're not having conversations of value. Snowins, do you buy more? Honestly, my price target. I want you to make your own decision on it, but my price target on ACRX is $8 to $10. So even now, it's still a really great position. No, guys, for all intents and purposes, news regarding Nikola is always going to be bad from this point forward. Okay, so what we had happen today, guys, is the U.S. Air Force did select BlackBerry for their security. Um, so So at the end of the week, guys, we have BlackBerry's earnings coming in, and this news drops today. Um, they've got a revenue estimate of 240 million. I think they're going to blow that out of the water. What's up, Chi Chi's? First time watcher, long time fan. I know what that's like, bro. I know what that's like. Um, I'm not still in GameStop. I was actually hoping the GameStop would fall back down to around the $3 to $4 mark. So what's up, Yura? Yeah, I thought I would start doing this. What I realized with this, guys, in this community, I love what Stocky does. I love the community that he's got. They're fantastic. But I feel like he and I are different enough that we can both stream at the same time. We're not conflicting. He does a lot more options trading. He does a lot more tech sector. He does a lot more what's emerging and what's growing. That's not what I do. That's not my bread and butter. I'm a big fan of doing due diligence, watching the news as it's coming, um, tracking the market on what could be potentially good long-term plays. I think it just provides some diversity. So I think I have enough. And I mean, I've got Martini's chat in my ear as well. So as you guys are talking about stuff, it'll just give me some fuel to keep going, right? Yeah, the focus on this while the market's live is going to be tracking news, tracking what's going on. We've got Powell this morning. ACRX got their initial order from the military today. U.S. Army. It's not here yet, but it is 3.6 million just from the Army. So we're looking at about 20 million across all of the different branches of the Army. BlackBerry got good news, so there's a lot of good things happening as we head into the market today. Let's pull up. Let's pull up TD here. Check the watch list, see how we're doing here. Yeah, is GameStop soaring pre-market? Where is it? Yeah, 10.99. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Yura. I was thinking the exact same thing. The reality is I may we'll play by ears. Play it by ear. Because right now I'm looking at space at 1656 already today. So that's bouncing back. Spy's looking pretty solid pre-market, 328. Is that all-time high? No, no, 360 is all time high, but it's heading back up. I expect Powell to be kind of a dead point today. I don't really expect it to be this huge deal. So, yeah, I mean, there is that. Uh, I mean, so guys, my PT on ACRX is that it's a $10 stock. At $2, a $10 stock is still a great buy. That's my opinion. And as we get the stream started and the market opens, I'm just going to drop the disclaimer in here. For any of you that are new here, you've never been here before, I am not a financial professional in any way, shape, or form. I'm just a regular guy out there trading the market using what I know about business to make some plays, make some dollars. Okay. So what I recommend that you do is you never, ever, ever just listen to anybody on the internet or TV when it comes to what stocks you should or should not buy. You can listen, take what we have to say here, take what we're looking at, and make an educated decision on your own. Dig deeper, dive deeper, make your own decisions. Don't ever follow anybody that you see on the internet or TV into trades. Please don't do that. Yeah, I'm streaming right now. I have you guys muted so they can't hear you, but yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna be around, and if you guys start actually talking about something that's like stock relevant, or we see some crazy news. We always say that we want to record this and let the world kind of hear some valuable conversations between traders, and this just seems like an easy way to do it, where I keep you guys muted until you have something of value to say. They can't hear you laughing. You're fine. Well, now they know you're laughing because I said that. But anybody see that BlackBerry news? Air Force is using them for their security, U.S. Air Force, so they're picking up military contracts. Kind of crazy, huh? That they called me a madman when I looked at BlackBerry. They called me insane. They were wrong. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just it's such a long term play. For me, I look at BlackBerry, and my only consideration is, do I think self driving cars are an eventuality? And if the answer is yes, then BlackBerry's a play. Holy crap! ACRX is up another 11% today. Yeah, you and everybody else. Nobody wants their auto driving car to be hacked, which is why BlackBerry's so sexy. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, I had a buddy of mine, a really close friend of mine, nearly die in a Tesla, and it made me seriously reconsider automated driving for quite a few years. And this was 3 or 4 years ago. Um, and now I recognize that that's going to happen, right? Early adopters, you put that risk out there. I'm not saying Teslas are inherently dangerous, but I mean, there are those stories, and he was one of them. So my hope is that over the next 5 to 10 years, we see automated driving actually take hold, and with that, all of those cars are going to need it. So we're watching Tesla here, guys. We've got it up. We've got Tesla up here. Let's go to the 2-day chart. 430. Okay, so this is the ongoing thing of late with this, guys. Buy the rumor, sell the news is a long-standing motto in the market. Okay, buy the rumor, sell the news. The rumor and the hype to Battery Day has been absolutely monumental. I think what's happening here, what we're seeing with Tesla, that's this guy over here. Let's pull it up on the big sheet and go to 2 days. Okay, so I think what we're seeing here, guys, is hype up to Battery Day. So this is yesterday. It dumped down to almost four. This is by the minute. So it dumped down to around the 410 level, 408 level. And this is just people don't know what to expect with Battery Day. They don't know what we're gonna see on it. And I mean, is this gonna be such a huge deal that that it's going to revolutionize the entire industry. Who knows? Honestly, if I know Elon at all, he has this tendency to be a total shit disturber. And if I was him, I would drop a tweet like, "Oh, we are years out from this being relevant," and then actually show up tonight and go, "Remember how I said years? What I meant to say was this year." And just blow people's minds, right? That's a possibility with Elon. That's something that we could see happen. So, but the tweet that he had yesterday that stated, what we're looking at, guys, is probably 2022 is when this tech's going to come out. I think that's what this drop is pre-market. Now, that being said, I had still said that after battery day, I saw Tesla closer to 450. No, I think I actually said 500 yesterday, which I still think is possible. I think 500 is possible on the news that he drops tonight. So we'll see what that looks like. We'll see where that goes. Apparently, I will not open up the Discord audio just because it is not crisp. It's not clean. You guys won't be able to hear it well. So we're not going to do that again. But yeah, so Tesla's moving up. Space is 1638. I'm okay with that coming down a little bit into. We're looking at this one here, guys. I guess I can pull up the 1-day charts on these just to make it a little bit more visible. So what I've got on the board for today is DGLY, Wader, Space, Tesla, ACRX, and ETM. Okay. And I mean, I said 450 by the end of the day, and it went 449. So it didn't quite get there. But yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. But do I see Tesla eventually going to 500? Absolutely. I think that is a thing. I see it getting there. So I mean that's what I'm watching on the board today, guys. Tesla, Space, Wader, ACRX, ETM, and DGLY. So Wader, people are asking about Wader. Am I still in it? Is it still on my radar? It is. I have a small equity holding in Wader, and that is it. My options portfolio is not currently holding Wader at all. Man, these ACRX 250 calls are up again. Yeah, with MFA, I closed my position. Yeah, I closed it. I needed the capital. Space is just space for me is such a sure thing. Space into that launch, I see it $24-$25. Like if I told you that there was a 50% gain in 3 weeks on something, wouldn't you take it? Like I'll make the 23rd, 22nd or 23rd of October. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so for me, I see it going back up to that $24-$25 thing price range. It could go more, it could run more than that, which would be fantastic. But honestly, that's where that's at for me. My thoughts on ETM. So ETM, guys, is a radio company. They've done a great job diversifying into podcasts. Traditionally, what we see on ETM is that they buy up into Q4 on ad spend. With sporting, they're huge into sporting. So with sports launching back up, we've got massive ad spend on politics, and you've got a well-diversified podcast, online streaming, as well as traditional radio medium. I really like ETM. I think they're undervalued. I think they're underpriced. So for me, that's a big deal. Spy is up to 328.50 right now, guys. Spy is this little guy down here in the bottom left. It looks like ACRX is going to float this $2 line. This isn't a bad deal. As long as it's up around that $2 line, I'm okay with that. There should be some profit taking early, and then we'll see it go back up again. DGLY did get an order in for their therm review yesterday from a city. I expect to see more municipalities come in on that. Let's break out of here. Not doubling, no. And I'm playing up to the launch. I'm not playing through the launch, to be clear. All right, here's the options portfolio, guys. This is not the equity. This is options. I trade options very similarly to how I trade equity. With space, the price target that I have on it is somewhere around the $24 to $25 range. Traditionally, we'll see that, and I'll go back and I'll show you the space chart to let you know why I'm seeing that, why I'm saying that. But here are the options I'm currently holding. On news of the aluminum tariffs being repealed, I did take a position in Alcoa. This looks like it's just going to cash out. I'm not going to make money on this. It's going to go away, so it's a $20 cost. I'm okay with liquidating $20 on that. MFA, I don't know that it's going to run fast enough for me to hit this by October 16th. And then space, I did pick up these contracts yesterday on the dip. I am down a little bit on them, and that's fine. I Like I said, this is a play into the launch, up to the launch. So I will be out of these before the strike date, expiry date. The expiry date is the 30th on these guys. I'm actually looking at exiting around the 22nd, 23rd. The day before the launch is when I'm going to look to get out. And I'll probably exit on 2 positions, take the gain, and then I will look to hold the third one through the launch, because if the launch goes well, it goes up. If the launch goes poorly, the whole thing obliterates off the face of the earth. So I hope I can quick flip these for double, maybe triple what I put into them. So turn the $400 into $1,200 would be ideal. These ACRX options, I got 42 options at 250. I am holding these into December 18th. I think this is going to be a very strong play. Again, ETM guys, a $4 call on this. I don't think that's unreasonable. AstraZeneca, I'm a little bit outside the money on this, so I'm not quite sure what this is going to look like for me as we head into approvals on vaccines. October, November is going to be big on this. So for now, I'm just letting these January 85s kind of sit there. But I do think AstraZeneca has a really solid play with their oncology profile. Their pipeline is well expanded, and they've got their coronavirus vaccine as one of the global leaders. So 85, I don't know, is unreasonable for them. We'll see what that does, though. RSX, guys, this was a play I took back in January. It was a bit of a meme. I spent $30. RSX, for those of you that don't know, is the Russian ETF. It's supposed to mirror the Russian economy. For all of you guys that are following, subscribing, huge thank you for that, guys. I greatly appreciate that support. So let's go here. Okay, latest news. What's going on? David's T is way up here. Redemption, did you see the insider buy of SBBP? 3.5 million. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. That's good criteria to have. So with the insiders, guys, what we're looking at is when an insider takes a position that they've got an executive position, a director position, anything like that, there's a potential play there. Yeah, I see it down at the bottom there, 36 million, right? ETNB. Yeah, $25 price point. Hmm. It's odd that it went down like that. Are there options on that? This is FinBiz, guys. It's got a decent breakdown of stuff. What I like is it's insider trading information. Um, would I explain what space looks like? So, in my opinion, guys, and I'm gonna preface everything with that. In my opinion, let's open up the charts here, and I'll show you space traditionally. Okay, so space. We'll go to the big sheet so that we're just looking at space. So what we're looking at with space, guys, let's pull this out to a year. So October is when the stock started to become relevant, okay? Um, So Open Insider is another tool for insiders, guys. That's what Redemption's whispering in my ear here. That's another link that you guys can use to get there. With Space, guys, what we're looking at is you've got Space sitting here in October around that $10 mark. And this is when the hype started to pick up on it. October of last year now. It did drop down to around the $7 mark. And then news came out that we were expecting early bookings on their flights. And what we saw happen was this immediate rush where it ran up and then it ran up again to almost the $40 range, over the $40 range on the high of the wick. So this is kind of where people, when this thing is active and running, and this is around where it's going to be now. It declined after that on the hype. The hype couldn't hold. It came back down to around this $10 range. Again, the market crashed as well in March, so we had that COVID crash. So it dropped back down to about 10. And then it finally settled around this $16, $15 mark, which is where it kind of lives. Now, you'll see that it kind of comes up and down to the $20 mark from there. And it likes that channel of that 16 to 20. However, this peak right here was not on their launch. This is on the SpaceX launch. So you guys remember when Elon sent his shuttle up into space? That's what this is here. So the space industry as a whole moves together kind of at this point. So anything SpaceX, Virgin, Boeing, even if they ever manage to get a space flight off, all of those things are going to drive the space sector forward as an industry. And what we saw with space was, okay, well, great. On somebody else's launch, it ran up to 25. So in my mind, the way that I'm playing space and my opinion on it is heading into their launch, we will see a similar price action. So we know that space is expecting a launch October. Let me double check and get an actual date on this because it keeps coming up over and over and over again. So yeah, October 22nd is their flight window. Now, the interesting thing about this one, guys, is traditionally we are used to watching space flights happen out of Cape Canaveral in Florida. This will be the first one launching out of the Spaceport America in New Mexico. So this has an added hype factor around it. That's my thoughts and my play on this. Hopefully that helps you folks over on Twitter that were asking about this. But my thoughts on space are exactly this, is that we can expect to see a similar buy-up as we have in the past to around that $25 range. Right now at around 1612, I mean, what is it today? 1626. I got in at 1612 yesterday. This is a reasonable channel for it to be in. I think heading into next month, this continues to just go up. It'll probably come closer to that 20 channel and then eventually the 25 as we get closer and closer to it. So this is not a day play. You're not going to get plays like that are YOLOs that I'm trading on the day. That's not how I trade. I like to trade. Typically I trade 6 to 18 months out, but in this instance, when news like this drops, you see a little bit of hype and then it comes back down. So for me, that's the play that I see on space here. I'm going to open up the scanner to see what the major runners are for the day. Boxlight's running, GameStop's running, Carvana's running, Blink is running. So Blink would be expected. Blink is going to run, and Boxlight I think are both going to run on battery day. What else do we have here? There's probably some other battery stocks tucked in here. It's oil, it's bio, insurance, Vroom. There's another car one. Okay, so I mean, no crazy movers. GameStop moving. I honestly, guys, I'm at the point of saying now that GameStop is overvalued. My hope is that we see it actually decline back down. It's going to hit a high and then fall. But we'll wait and see that. I'm not holding my breath on that. But into October, if we could see this come back down to a $7-8 range, I would look at GameStop again. But beyond that, I'm just not going to do that. I wouldn't go near it again anyway. Um, Okay, so that's Virgin Galactic. What else do we have going on? This is interesting. Okay, so JetBlue's in trouble. Airlines are still in trouble, guys, which is great because I mean, it's not great in the grand scheme of things, but as far as a potential investment opportunity for me, I'm watching casinos, hotels, airlines very closely as we see a resurgence, a wave two that's already here, and people are starting to accept that. I think with a wave two, what we're going to start to see happen is all of the stocks that initially declined are going to come back down to similar levels. So you'll see those airlines and cruise lines back down around that $8, $9, $10 mark. And given that the rest of these plays that I have are going to do quite well into a second wave, I expect to have a little bit of cash to throw around into those more of a long-term hold, holding things like CCL for years and years and years. So this is interesting. Muddy Waters, for those of you that don't know, if you haven't seen the documentary The China Hustle, I highly recommend you go check it out. Um, I think it's on Prime still. So if you don't have a Prime subscription, get it. But uh, I would definitely go check that out if you haven't seen it. Um, but yeah, Muddy Waters is one of the world famous shorts. They are famous for taking shorts, and they are apparently not liking Nano X imaging. NNOX. You guys see this report Muddy Waters just put out? I don't know that it's a China hustle. Hold on, let me pull it up. No, Israel. They're Israeli. And Muddy Waters isn't the only one on them. Citron's on them as well. So Citron is another one of the short companies, guys. Yeah, they do. That's all they do all day. If I've got time to do it, they've got time to do it. Okay, so they're yeah, I like getting paid for it. It's great. Okay, so their issue with this company, guys, is that they don't have a product to sell. Apparently, the video that they've got showcasing it is a fraud, or they think it is. So Wall Street is bullish on it, despite two of the major short firms being absolutely opposed and against it. That's kind of crazy. Is it getting sold off bad? I mean, on the day it's down from 42. No, on the 5 days, is that 5 days? On the day it's up to around 25. I don't know that this has does this have options? Oh, there's no options on it, so you'd have to take a short play against it. One of the problems with shorts, guys, is you pay the interest on it, right? Holy crap, look at this. GME is up 19% today. So around now, guys, what we like to, or what we tend to see is profit taking. Um, that initial 15-minute spike, and then the retail traders take their profits. So you'll see the spike, retail traders take their profits. Now we balance out on the day. Man, I hope you did the due diligence. If you like BlackBerry and what it's doing, I'm happy to have brought it to your attention at the very least. Yeah, I mean, I for me, I really like what they're doing. I like what they're doing. I think BlackBerry they're already in millions of vehicles. To have the U.S. Air Force there as well. Company is sub licensing their phone IP, so there is a new BlackBerry phone coming. BlackBerry itself isn't making the phone; another company out of Texas is. So I mean, there's a lot of opportunity there for sure. Um, Tesla is continuing to just float here. Now it's really interesting. I'd love to see as we head into the close whether or not Tesla is going to run into the close on potential good news or it bottoms out. There will be after hours trading for sure on it, but honestly, guys, I think he has good news. I think he's got ammo. I really, really do. There's just so much potential in this. All right, what are you guys watching today? What are you guys looking at? We're gonna keep track of that. We'll keep watching it. But let's take a look at what you guys are looking at. Break down some news. CRISPR. This continues to be a really strong hold. CRISPR is genetic, yeah, gene therapy. Um, Really solid play in the long term. This one is really interesting to me. Yeah, we did go over ACRX. ACRX has been a long hold for me. I've been in it and on it since around January. So the news that we got on the initial army order was looking really good. Uh, Blink, yeah, Blink is doing quite well today. Again, I think Blink is running on the hype in that industry on Battery Day. Um, I don't know that Blink actually got any news themselves. Blink. Yeah, so they're up 14% today. They don't have any recent news. I mean, they've got this car sharing thing on Friday last week, but um, this is interesting. So, I mean, I honestly think the five head play from Elon is his announcement that everybody can have access to his network. I think that would be the big deal. I think that would be the big thing in my mind. But yeah, I mean, this is EV. It's the EV sector, guys. It's a solid long term play. EV is not going away. This is not the 90s where we had a brief glimpse of what EV would be and then it kind of faded from existence. It's here to stay. It's definitely here to stay. So Blink continues to be a really good opportunity there, I think. Um, Now, that being said, guys, I don't have skin in the game on that. So um, Walmart position long into a second wave, guys, and into Thanksgiving, Christmas. Walmart is going to be a great position to be in. Consumer staples as a whole is going to be a really good position to be in. So Costco, Target, Walmart, those are all going to be great places to be. I would probably wait a little bit, in my personal opinion, on things like Walmart and that. I think that there's the opportunity for it to dip on the initial bad news, and then see it come back up. But LPL is one that I recently took a position in, guys. Portfolio. The second wave, the initial bad news of the second wave. More and more countries are starting to admit that. You guys can check out my portfolio there. It's a public portfolio. I update it as I take positions. LPL is something I did take position in. Kicking the shit out of the SPY this month. But yeah, I do have a position in LPL, guys. The play on LPL is this. LPL is the company, it's LG Display. They are the company that makes the screens for the Apple Watch, the iPhone, and the iPad. So heading into Christmas, Apple's making the push onto the watch and the iPad Air. LPL will be the one getting that contract to produce those screens. We should see that coming through based off the number of units that they are going to sell. So for me, that's a really solid position to take right now. They are down at the moment, but I see them. I mean, you can open this up. This is tip ranks for those of you that are unfamiliar with it. The stock analysis on it right now is neutral, but leaning to the positive side. Moderate buy, some bullishness. The analysts that are on it, they've got buy ratings on it. They don't have a price target set. For me, I think LG somewhere around the $8-9 mark would be reasonable. So I'm looking to turn a 30% gain on this, 30 to 50% gain on it, heading into Christmas. Ideally, that's what I would be looking at on this. There I am. Hey, look, I'm considered an actual investor now. How about that? Crazy, huh? That's kind of fun to see. PogChamp, I'm a real boy. Zach's equity is bullish on it. Insider purchases, none. Yeah, you'll see it's had a slow rise up from $4 back up to the $6 mark. If we pull up, let's pull up LPL here and see what it's done over the year. So it looks like its peak is around the $7 mark, so where it is right now, but that's not with an iPhone launch, so. There's always time for spicy ramen, man. There is never a bad time for spicy ramen. Yeah, I mean, I really like this, guys. When was the last iPhone dropped? Does anybody know? Here's their 10-year chart. When was the last iPhone out? So 2017 was the last big launch. So let's go 2017, September of 2017. This touched 17 on the last iPhone. So I don't know that iPhone is going to drop here, but the watch and the iPad Air heading into Christmas, I think for it to go back to this $10 range is reasonable. That's where it was here. I just feel like that's not an overreach. I think that that's a reasonable thing to have locked down. Um, So yeah, what we're looking at here, guys, is 2016 headed into the launch. It bought up a little bit, and then September was the actual drop on the iPhone. Went up to around that $17 range. Now I don't know that we see a new iPhone, but heading into Christmas, traditionally we see a buy up as well on on the gear and the swag. So if we look back at this year again, you see a buy up um, in the Christmas after the drop here. Traditionally into Christmas, we see a buy up. So the opportunity is there. Yeah, the 10 to 14 range seems to be where it likes to be. And I don't see any reason why this wouldn't continue to go up to that level. So I don't have a huge position in it. I'm looking at 150 shares, but even still, for you to take $1,000 investment, make $300 on it, that's not bad. Um, I have a different screen showing. You guys can't see the TD screen right now. Hopefully, you should see the TD screen right now. But this portfolio is the same whether you look at it on. Okay, perfect. Whether you see this on tip ranks or here, I do have a Canadian margin account, guys. The only things that I'm holding in here are super small stocks. These are really long-term plays. Not significant money in this at all, like $20, $100. WPRT does have a larger holding, but I'm up $1,000 on it. I think this continues to run. I had a price target of 6 to 8 on it, so I'm going to continue to hold on that. Here's the US margin account, all my holdings, my positions, my entries. One of the big things, guys, if you're going to be watching people on the whether it's Twitch, whether it's YouTube, wherever, for me, transparency in the portfolio is a big deal. That's always been a point that I wanted to make clear. If people are going to be showing up and listening and watching and hearing what it is that I have to say, I want them to see that I actually have skin in the game. That's a big deal for me. If you're going to be listening to traders and you're going to be a part of that, I think that it's crucial that people see that you actually have skin in the game and that you're not just paper trading. So actual cash, actual dollars, it's a big deal. I did have a position in ALNA. I did close it out to take profit. I will probably roll my space winnings right back into ALNA. ALNA, guys, is a bio stock that is, let's go here, back to tip ranks. ALNA. No, not ALNY, ALNA. So ALNA, guys, has 8 investors on it, 8 analysts on it. One has a hold on it at $4. It's at $1.29. So at the lowest, it's $4. The rest are buy targets, and there are some really high buy targets here of $18, $10, $11 from its current price point of $1.29. So this stock looks really solid for me. The news, the pipeline, what it's doing. Yeah, that's exactly it. So for me, this is pretty solid. These are recent analysts weighing in on this. I think that the average price range being 11, that's a 10x play right here. So for me, ALNA is one that I will continue to watch. I'm not in a position on it. I am watching it. I guess we can pop in here and check out the insider's hot stocks. This director's been loading up. There's 3.5 million in shares that he's bought on this Berry Petroleum. So that might be something that I look at based off of the insider buying. Not into biopharma. What would cause you to finally put yourself into it? First run up and an active deal, some concrete action. Okay, so here's what I do. When somebody brings a biopharma stock to my attention, or I find it myself through news or whatever else, typically I'm going to go look at the pipeline. But to start with, nice, up on that BlackBerry. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, no. So what I'm looking at here, guys, is I am looking at having the opportunity to find these things at the right time, and timing is everything with biopharm. Okay, so I can kind of answer some of the questions together. So um, they both happen kind of the same way, but I'll give you the two different sides. So we'll start with biopharma, which is this tool here that I use. I'll give you guys the link here. So there's the link. This tool here, guys, will give you the breakdown of not just PDUFAs. PDUFA is the ability to openly market a drug in the US, but it also has an FDA approval calendar. Now, the FDA makes this public knowledge, but this site here just sorts it for you with the next 50 things that are supposed to come out of this, okay? So what I do is I typically sort by price. I see the price points that are coming in, and then I also want to sort by stage. I don't want it in stage 1. What I'm looking for is stage 3. Phase 3 is where the money's at. Okay. If phase 3 data is coming out in the near future, that's kind of what you want to be watching. So with phase 3, what I'm looking at is this one would be in my price point. Maybe even these guys here at the $13, $11. But as you get into this $15, I'm not really interested. So what we've got here are their phase 3 data failed to meet endpoints, so they probably fell down on that. They're presenting biomarker data. This is not a run. Okay, so what they're saying is it failed. Um, then what we see is ARI here, phase 3 top line data due late Q3, so that's any time now. We've got TNXP, interim analysis in September. Top line data due Q4, initiation of second phase of the phase 3 trial announced on September 3rd. So we're expecting the phase 3 top line data. We're expecting Q4 as a deadline on this. So this is a low float stock, guys. This is everything. This fibromyalgia stock that they are drug that they have. This is everything for this. So herein lies the inherent risk. If I was genuinely interested in this, I would take a deeper look at this. Now, mRNA, we've got the COVID vaccine. BNTX, we've got the COVID vaccine. Pfizer, we've got their COVID vaccine here. Those are all coming up very shortly. Data is due in October on all of those. I'm not seeing AstraZeneca here, but I am in a position on that as well. I imagine if I type in AZN, it should show up here. COVID vaccine. Phase 3 data due. Where'd that just go? So you've got 2 PDUFAs and then a phase 3. So yeah, on average, guys, your phase 3 approval, I don't like playing the averages because that's not how approval happens. There are a lot of politics that happen in the FDA. There's a lot. And the way that those approval processes work is politically, the companies that have done this before know what the process looks like. They know they have to contact, they know the data that they need, they know how to put the whole package together and give it to them. So when you see stocks that are in bio anywhere from the uh, $15 to $60 range, they've done this before. They've been to the rodeo. They know how to get the job done. They get it done. So there's a much higher rate of success when you see a stock that is in that 15 to 60 range versus something that is a low floater, anything under $15, right? 10 to 15, you could technically have an approved drug. Now, one of the things that stood out for me as I was looking at this, and this is how I came across ACRX to come full circle on this, with ACRX, I found that they already had an FDA approval. but the stock was only at that $1.97 range, or the dollars. I think my average was $1.72 on it. So at $1.72 average with an FDA approval, they are extremely undervalued. And so I started to break down, why is ACRX undervalued with an FDA approval? And it came down to the opioid crisis. Essentially, there was slow adoption for a new opioid because of the crisis. Now, what they needed was some kind of an impetus to push them into the market. And ACRX got that in two ways. One, they got their Class C milestone approval from the US Army, which allows them to be used in the US military. And the other thing that they got was a massive global shortage of opioids. So due to coronavirus, everybody that's on an intubator, they need to be on a constant opioid drip. And the reality is that quickly depleted any levels of opioids that we had anywhere in the world, which leaves ACRX that's sitting on a stockpile of their opioid the opportunity to swoop in and do that. Now, on top of that, hospitals are clearly the ones that are getting priority on those opioids. Right? So they're the ones that are getting the priority, but there's other places that still need opioids: dental surgery, plastic surgery, elective surgery, all of those things, right? So ACRX has that whole market available to them as an entry point. What we're seeing now is dental's picking them up with the Zimmer Biomet. We're seeing hospitals picking them up, formularies picking them up. We've got the U.S. Army placing orders. We know that they are approved for all branches, so they got joint deployment formulary approval, JDF approval this month, which means that all 6 branches of the U.S. DoD are able to purchase from them. The national stockpile is looking to purchase from them. So for me, that's why I'm so bullish on ACRX. Is the news and all the pieces are in place. And with the second wave of COVID coming right now, what we're going to see is that opioid shortage just continue to grow and build. So for me, that's the big deal here. That's what we're watching. And for me, that's why ACRX is severely undervalued. Now, if you go back to TipRanks and look at the analysts on ACRX, you're probably not going to see the same kind of opinion. Yeah. So at the high, they see 7. I see it more than that. I see it significantly more than that. All right. Eton. $8 right now. Analysts have it around 15 on the average, so it's a double up opportunity. News. You will call me millennial at all times. So it has 6 products submitted to the FDA. 2 additional product candidates are expected to be submitted before the end of the year. So they're looking to have 8 in total. So we're overdue on an announcement for them. This is actually a really good play, I think, on the short term. With the amount of drugs that they've got in there, their price point, they've been to this rodeo once before. They're paired with Bosch Health, which looks really good. Bosch Health is a much larger company that knows what they're doing. I would say the odds of them getting an approval are probably closer to the 75-80% range. Those are good odds. I really like Eton. I really like what I'm seeing there. Interesting. So Nikola is up today, ladies and gentlemen. Nikola is back up. Ooh, got yourself that sweet waiter icon. Guys, huge thank you for all the subs, all the follows. You guys are amazing. You make it definitely worthwhile. I am playing around with the idea of doing this during live market, guys. It's not something I do typically do, but SDC, ABEV, and UBX. What are your thoughts on those? Let's do Smile Direct Club first. What are your thoughts on Smile Direct Club? What do you like about this? There is a second wave. It's already here. Canada, the UK, Europe is already admitting that we are in the midst of a second wave. The US will be slower to do so. Their news is going to be more focused to the fact that there is a vaccine coming, but we are there. It's not an if and or but. It's a we are there. Um, Now, what that does to the market, I don't suspect that we see a crash because the economy is not going to shut down. They're never going to do that again. You will not see a massive shutdown in the U.S. like we saw before. They can't afford it. They won't do it. There may be individual states that choose to lock down, but expect the majority of the U.S. not to do that. New York is in such a disarray, so much of a shit show at the moment. I very much doubt that we see them locked down like they have in the past. Um, so, guys, if you throw out a stock, know that I'm probably going to ask you what your thought process is on it because I don't just want us to. I don't want you guys to just sit here listen to me talk. So I'll look at SDC here, but know that if you guys throw something out into chat, I am gonna want you guys to just give me your thought process a little bit on it, so I can help you break that down as well. CEO is boosting his holding, so he's buying in. I like that. What do they make? Teledentistry. So this is actually really solid going into a second wave. SDC. I like this into a second wave because dentistry was one of those elective surgery things that just kind of pushed to the wayside on the first closure. I think that this would be a really solid play into Q2 or into Q4 as the second wave breaks out. My price point on it, I would set it back around that $15 range. So there's a 50% gain possible on that. 40 to 50% gain. So not terrible. I do like SDC for that. WPRT news. Yeah, it's down 16%. I'm okay with this, guys. I'm not losing my mind on it. So all it says is they can't sell right now. I wonder how far down that's going to go. I mean, all this says is that they have to build and certify. So when you look at where this was before the news, it was down here. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna sell this. Okay, I'm gonna take my gains on that. And I gotta go to tip ranks here. My portfolio. Oh, there it is. I think what I want to do is transfer this over. So now I'm left with a choice. I got $2,700 to spend here. Where do I want to put it? No, I don't think Battery Day's a flop. I don't. Um, with Nicola going up, is Nicola still going up? Where is it here? I don't know about what Ford's going to do. I know out here we have had in the entirety of this epidemic, we have had 4 cases of COVID in this area, and if he tries to lock down this area, I think everybody's just going to ignore his ass. We are not shutting down this entire area with 4 cases over the entirety of this thing. It. You want to lock down Toronto? You want to lock down Ottawa? You want to lock down Montreal? Go nuts. Do it. Hit it. But for you to lock down the rest of Ontario, Ontario is a big friggin' province. Montreal is one city, maybe Quebec, but like Montreal, Quebec and Ontario should not be shut down because Toronto's a shit show. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think we're seeing it. Um, so I mean, what I'm tempted to do here is actually just watch WPRT. No, I exited my position. I just exited my position. Yeah, for me, Tesla's a long play. So everything that I'm putting out as far as projection goes is long term. So what I'm looking at is actually Tesla around the $500 mark, based off the news that they drop. Excuse me, tonight sometime. So I need to go grab some coffee here, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to. Yeah, right. I've got wicked allergies, and we are at that time of year where it's like, deal with it. This is what she be. This is what she be. So for those of you guys that are new to the stream, you won't know this, but Restream is a sponsor of the channel. I'm a huge fan of them. It lets me actually talk to you guys on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all these other, all of these other things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this up. Move this over here. Pop this here, do this, and I will be right back, guys. Oh, it's desktop audio as a whole. Okay, well that's good to know. Interesting. Okay, well maybe I don't run that desktop audio anymore until I figure out what exactly is going on. My most sincere apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for blowing out your eardrums if that's what happened there. Interesting. Let's see, properties. What is it using as... It says default, but I don't buy that. Anybody else buying that? Okay, just bear with me for 2 seconds here, guys. I want to see if this is any better. Um, okay. You guys tell me right away if this starts to blow your eardrums and it's no bueno, okay? Hmm. Apparently it's not picking it up. Oh well, I'm not going to play with that. Audio's not super important. As long as you guys can hear me and I can read what you're saying. Sponsors are not loving that audio. I'll figure that out. I mean, you can hold it. That news is there, but I figured I'd just free up the capital. Where are they at? Yeah, they're at 256. I mean, it got some good news. I think that it's just an extension. There's more good news to come on it, for sure. But so the big question I have to ask is, do I go into ALNA or do I go deeper into space? There's other plays, so I'm not going to go ACRX. What kind of coffee did I brew up? I don't have a coffee sponsor yet, so Folgers in my cup. Um, I work from home, guys. My wife is home homeschooling the kids, so I have a constant pot of coffee downstairs ready to roll. So I just go down and grab it. Damn, look at GameStop go! Holy cow, 19%, crazy. I'm tempted to just wait for WPRT to continue declining and then putting the money back into them. Is that crazy? Does that sound crazy? Second wave, yes, it can. Guys, my thought on Nikola is now what it has always been. Before they did their SPAC, I dropped my thoughts on Nikola, and that's that the company is completely fraudulent. They don't currently own any patents of proprietary technology. They own the design of their car, so what it looks like. They don't actually own any of the tech inside of it. They don't have patents. Um, they're in motion. A CEO who is fraudulent. A company that traditionally has shown itself to be lackluster. I am bearish like crazy on Nikola. It's great that it's up 5% today, returning to 30. I expect this thing to plummet back down this $13 level real quick. I am not bullish in any way on Nikola. Not a fan, not an advocate. Don't like it. Never have, never will. Their whole plan is to bring fuel cell technology, hydrogen fuel cell, to the U.S. There is no infrastructure for this here. The best thing I can do is give you guys the picture. Okay, so Tesla charging stations. You ready for this? Tesla charging stations. Okay, this is the number of places that you can fuel up on a Tesla. Okay, so e-charging, electric charge, um, hydrogen fueling stations US. This article was written as of 2018, so I want something more updated than that. There are 48 fueling stations for hydrogen fuel cell in the US and Canada. Nikola's big thing is supposed to be Series 7, so 18 wheelers that use predominantly shipping from these interior states to exterior states, right? So they're shipping to the coasts and they're shipping to the coasts. That's typically what happens. So what you want to see is Chicago, LA, New York, Florida, Washington. You want to see that there's a steady line of fueling stations between these. That infrastructure does not exist, which means that they are at least 5 to 10 years out from being viable. They are giving investors the opinion that they will be ready to go in 2 years. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. Even if they have proprietary technology, which I'm not sold that they do, but if they do, there's nowhere to fuel these things up outside of California. You could run California and that's it. Not even all of California. You could just run California, the Bay Area and Sacramento area. I'm extremely bearish on Nikola. They are full of shit. Oh, it was a gas riot. No, this is Nikola. With WPRT, guys, that news that we just got on WPRT is not make or break for me at all. With the Okay, so this is environmental approval for China. Yeah. So they have environmental approval, which is the harder one to get. Now they just have to show that the engine works. So for me, guys, this is not a huge deal. Um, for them to get this approval will not take a long time. Yeah, now they just need to be certified for elevation, and that's not going to take that long. Weichai wants to use this. This company wants to use this part. When somebody in China is pushing you to do that thing in China, that's bread and butter. You're going to make money on that. But for me right now, I'd rather have that capital liquid. I took a gain on it. I took a win on it. And I'll watch it. It's still going to be on my list here. I expect to see it fall back down to around $2. And then I might look to go back in. What is the website I'm using? This one right here is Seeking Alpha. It Don't pay for the premium. You don't need the premium. Just use what they have here. Uh, One of the hacks you can do, they have an app as well. So if you ever come across an article and you want to know what it's about, but you don't want to pay for the premium and you want to know what stocks it mentions, you can actually go into the Seeking Alpha app, pull up whatever the article is, and it will tell you this is premium content only. But it will mention the stock tickers that are in the article, so you don't have to pay for premium to actually get the knowledge of what they're talking about. Quick life hack for you traders out there that don't want to be dropping premiums. Yeah, it's abandoned cart recovery. No. Okay. Are you making any moves on BlackBerry with the Air Force News? And I think earnings coming up soon, right? No, you never have to apologize, guys. If you have questions, that's what this is about. I don't mind answering questions. With BlackBerry, guys, I am already in a position. So I already do have a position in BlackBerry. I've been holding it for a while now. My holdings are here. I have a 490 cost average. I am actually thinking that this is where I'm going to put this money. So 1300 4 by 4. We'll say that's 5. 5 by 2. So we'll do 200. Okay, so I've increased my position on BlackBerry. I've got 400 shares in this now. It's about 2 grand. Yeah, what you missed on WPRT is that the news came out to clarify that they do have ecological approval. They do not have. They do not have. There's a second approval that needs to happen that proves that they can actually operate in high elevation, that they can operate in cold temperatures, that they can operate. Now, this is not going to be difficult, guys. This is a Canadian company. They are going to be able to prove this. It won't be immediate. The approval won't be immediate. I would expect anywhere from a month or two on that, but all will be well. Yeah. Ghost Orb. Yeah, I got into LPL, a small position, not a huge position, about $1,000, but I do like it into Q4 for sure. All right, guys, I think I may have fixed the audio problem, so just give me 2 seconds here, and I want you guys to tell me if I'm still destroying you or whether this is a little bit more reasonable. I think Spotify, guys, the conversation that we're having is that Spotify and Joe Rogan, they're not looking for anybody right leaning. They want to control the message that's there. So I think Spotify can do whatever the hell they want. I think it's actually to their detriment that they do this because it makes people aware that they are being manipulated on the platform. They will lose the right wing, and Joe Rogan will be fine. Nobody is abandoning Joe Rogan on this. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like Fox was to offer Joe Rogan a sizable amount of money as a more right leaning. I mean, he's a libertarian. He's not a Republican. He calls them on their bullshit too. So I don't know what Spotify's deal is of like when he says that he doesn't like Biden. Well, that's an opinion that he should be allowed to have, in my opinion. But whatever.
Answered in stream. I didn't know. So
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah. So my thoughts are like Joe Rogan will be fine with it. If Shopify wants to play this, all they're doing is hurting their own user base because those that are more right leaning are just going to leave them. And I wouldn't be surprised to hear somebody like Fox News pick him up. In reality, for those of you that are listening on stream, if the audio is crisper now and not killing you, just let me know. Hopefully, this is a little bit better.
I just find it funny how Rogan got offered that $1 million contract, and suddenly everybody that you know wanted to start a podcast. But from what I remember, podcasts were a great originally because apparently people listen to them in their cars. It's great background noise and everything. Like it was actually a very like unknown, relatively unknown but popular niche. Like really good rate of return.
Yeah. I I'm in ETM for a reason, right? Like I think podcasts have that ability to make cash. I really do. Um,
That and the director slash CEO does this seasonally every year too.
yeah,
So
yeah. I'm fairly comfortable with that. Okay, do I want to continue my outlook on SDC? So, Perpetual, all I asked was that you give me some background. So, SDC, I did. There's not much deeper I need to dive in on that. I think that dental service heading into a second wave of Corona is an excellent position. What are your thoughts on ABEV and UBX? I definitely want to dive in, but I'd like to hear what your thoughts are first before I dive in. That's one of the things that I like to encourage you guys to do is actually do your due diligence, have your own thought process on this, and that way I'm able to not only give you my insight into the stock itself, but also give you insights into what your thought process is and maybe help you along with that as well. So, yeah, just give me some background on what you're thinking. Oh, scroll above. I'm sorry, I missed
Look
it.
here, there's the AMD. It's broken through that bottom channel.
Perpetual.
Yeah, I saw. But God
So
bless, I didn't get in.
that was the only thing is I didn't see a
Oh,
strong.
yeah. Okay, I see them. I've got them here.
EMA is
Thank you.
pushing it down, so it wasn't
UBX,
really
sticking with senescent cells research and development,
it's a
Deep
win.
Six, UBX 101, but focusing on macular
That's
degeneration,
what I was gauging
undervalued. Okay, so let's take a look at UBX. So I like this. It definitely shows me that you've done a deep dive. You got that understanding of what's going on here.
over a mill.
Okay, so
There
349.
might be something there.
Yeah, so for my rule is this: if anything under sub $5, sub $10 as far as a biostock, Deep Six is a pipeline. I'm done with them. I won't touch them. I just won't. And my basis for that is this:
Yeah,
um,
it wasn't a mill. It was.
you don't get that many shots. And it's only a matter of time until this thing completely obliterates itself.
It has to be like
I think there are just other better plays, and I'm not stuck to having to play
like
UBX, so I wouldn't. That's my thought on
Did you
UBX.
see the Voxel got that investment? I didn't really understand the article. I was hoping that one of you guys could help explain it to me.
ABEV.
That they got some $22 million investment from some company.
I'm gonna break down ABEV here, and then I will take a look at. I'll take a look at Voxel on that news. Just wanna. I'm supposed to be taking timestamps here, and I forgot to do that, so that's on me. Sorry, just give me a sec here. 36. We're taking a look at
After
UBX.
seeing the SPY movement today, I don't think I want to play it. It might be in a consolidation channel today.
ABEV.
327 to 329.
Okay, ABEV.
I may take
My thoughts on
$25 and walk
ABEV are. I gotta go to the. I gotta go here. Okay. So let's go here. Okay. Carbonated soft drinks, non-alcoholic beverages, malt, food products in Americas. Brazil, Central America, Caribbean. Okay, so this is my concern with Central America and Caribbean. These economies are run by tourism, especially things like this that are luxury. Water right now is the priority on ABEV, not soft drinks, right? Offers beer primarily. Budweiser, Bud, Stella, Corona. Okay. Corona took a huge hit because of coronavirus. It's going to continue to, in my opinion. Bud Light, Budweiser, those are not huge beers anyway. They are what they are. Super Bowl might be a play on this. There might be a slight sales bump on Super Bowl. Budweiser typically does well through that. But misses on earnings, beats on revenue. I think I would let this come down a little bit more, Perpetual. My thought process on this would be to let it come down a little bit more. I think it comes back down to around that $2 range, and then you can grab it heading into Super Bowl season. That's kind of how I would play this. Would be to play it into Super Bowl season for sure. Okay, I said I was going to take a look at Boxel, so let's do that. Okay, Carrot. Boxel got a $22 million investment from Lind. Okay, so this is weird. Boxel says that they are using this to further acquisitions. So they want to use that $35 million to buy a company. Who are they going to buy? Partnership with Samsung. Yeah, I don't like this investment, Carrot, just on the basis that they're not using this investment to build their own company. They're just looking to buy another company. That's kind of a red flag for me. Of like, well, shouldn't you be supporting what you're currently building? It's not like this is a $40 stock, right? It's not Zoom. It's not like we're getting an announcement that Zoom is buying out another smaller company. This is a small company. I don't like that they're focusing on acquisition instead of building out what they already have, unless what they have isn't proprietary, which makes me even less attracted to them. DGLY, full disclosure, is something that I do have a position in, guys. What I like about DGLY is this. They do have a COVID play, so their Thermoview, they do have orders coming in on that, but they also have dashboard cameras, body cameras, non-lethal enforcement, so things like tasers. I think that they do really well, not just right now, but also as COVID continues to evolve. as we see protests, as we see that kind of thing happen, I think that's what we're looking at. Um, Yeah, but I really like DGOY. I like what they're doing. I like how they're positioned for the upcoming election. I don't see protests stopping. I don't see riots stopping. I think that this is going to be a pretty standard thing moving forward is the body cams, dashboard cams, and non-lethal enforcement. So I think DGOY is in a really good position at $1.85. I would see the price point probably much closer to the $8 range, $9 range on them. So that's kind of my price target on it. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, Carrot. No, I was saying that. Yeah, they got a $22 million investment, but they're not looking to actually build out their own brand. They're looking to acquire somebody else with that $22 million, which is a huge red flag for me at a stock that's $1.65. That they're not building their own product, that they're building out somebody else's product, or they're just going to buy somebody else's product. Means what they're currently using isn't really that great. So, um, it's a big red flag for me. I'm also not sure who they're. I'm not sure who they're looking to buy out either. Like yeah, Pearson maybe they look to buy out Pearson, but Pearson is yeah, I'm more inclined to look at Pearson than I am to look at Boxel. I think.
Yeah, I was just curious because I read it and then I didn't know why they needed that investment to acquire stuff when they already liquidated or diluted.
Yeah, it's really weird, and I think that there's going to be a large fallout from a lot of these education stocks as we get into Q1, because you've got like GSX, Edu, Tedu, what are some of the other ones? I mean, Boxel, but all of these education stocks, they're making these grandiose claims like they've done something, but not one of them is showing profitability from it. So I think that into Q1, when they continue to show that despite schools starting back up, they still aren't profitable, I think that the glory days of that sector are going to fall out pretty hard, pretty fast. All right, all right. Let's see what else is going on here. Ralph Lauren is looking good. The retail sector is showing a bounce back. Christmas is going to be really interesting this year, guys. Vaccine distribution. Boeing UV wand. Right. So Ralph Lauren retail sector. It looks like it's going to be an e-commerce Christmas, which makes me really intrigued as to how these MREITs are going to do, with malls, shopping malls just being kind of flat. Not a lot of traffic, not a lot of foot traffic, not a lot of sales, right? Um, I think bigger retailers like Walmart, Costco will be just fine, but they're not huge retailers as far as the fashion industry goes. So I would look to bigger players that have a solid online presence to win out over some of these traditionally brick and mortar stores. Mm, closed that by accident. So here's my thing with the mailing system heading into the election season, right? So heading into November, what we are expecting to see is we have a traditionally packed shipping season, right? So already crazy busy during this time of year as people are sending gifts and presents to loved ones, especially now with COVID, right? People aren't going to be traveling to friends and family. They're just going to be sending gifts. So that's going to bog down the mail system. On top of that, now we're talking about shipping out vaccine end of October, early November, late November into December. As we're shipping out vaccine, now that adds an added spike to that. On top of that, we have the Democrats pushing hard for mail-in ballots, which is going to further bog down the system. Now, while mail-in ballots are USPS, that doesn't mean that that load of new mail coming into the USPS isn't going to further cause problems. People are going to go, oh, well, USPS sucks. I got to wait forever. They've got the ballots happening. I'm not getting my things where I need them to. I'm going to use UPS and FedEx. Well, bad news. You're not going to be sending your gifts through UPS and FedEx either because they are so bogged down with vaccine distribution. I think FedEx and UPS are going to have more business than they know what to do with. But if you're going to be sending gifts for Christmas, get on it like now. WPRT is free falling, so I'm glad I took my exit then. Yeah, so remember I said it would probably come back down to this $2 price point. This is a reasonable place for it to be. Essentially, it just blew up the news that came because people are like, okay, well, we'll go back to where we were. I'm okay with this. I took a win on it. I exited WPRT with a $700 win. So that's not bad. I'll take that any day of the week that you put in a $1,000 investment and you take $700 out. That's a win. I'll take that. ACRX is still up a little bit today. Side-Eye is one that we're waiting on. Side-Eye has their news later today. I think they're on a press conference later today. Space is at 1623. Waiter, Spies started to fall, so we're seeing other things take that trend as well. Let's see here. So guys, I'm also looking for your feedback on this. Typically, I don't stream during the market. I stream pre-market 4:30 a.m. to 7 to do my morning due diligence, break that down. I like to give that actual research and how I'm doing my research and teach people how to do research. But what do you guys think about this being open during the market, streaming, answering your guys' questions? Is this something that you guys would like me to continue to do? Because if so, I'm more than happy to do this. I just want to make sure that it is of value to you guys and this is something that you are interested in. I know I don't do a lot of day trades. I don't do a lot of quick plays. I don't do a lot of options trading. So that's not necessarily the greatest thing, but I would be interested if this is something that brings you guys value. I would probably look at continuing to do this in the future. Okay. Okay, so I'll probably do both then. The feedback that I'm seeing here, I think that's a good point about the West Coast. You guys are learning something here. I don't know that I'm going to go all day though. I think I'll probably cut this around noon because the market, let's be honest, the market slows down and doesn't really do anything. So I'll make a point then. Yeah. I do start a stream at 4:30 a.m., but I'll do 2 streams a day then. I'll do one at 4:30 to 7, which will be pre-market. Okay, so yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people from PST saying pre-market's too early for them, so during the market works out well. Great, I'm happy to do that then. I think that I will continue to do this. So we'll probably run for another hour here, guys. Just checking the news, checking what's happening, seeing what's moving. Let's head over to Twitter and see if there's anything there. I mean, 4:30 in the morning, man. Like I just that's when the news she flies, right? And I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of getting up that early, having those things there. I think that's a big deal. If I had to choose FedEx or UPS, I would choose FedEx. Pre-market because Asia, so that's good, and that's a good point as well. I love hanging out with the Europeans, the Asians on the pre-market, so I think it does have to be both. Now I am going to take probably an hour or two off in between. I do Stock Guy's Call. If you guys don't know Stock Guy, huge shout out to him. Definitely check him out over on Twitch. Stock Guy. I do the morning call with him. My hairline is 100%. The hat's my bag. It matches the motif. It's got that sweet Captain America logo, so it puts it all together. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I think I'll do both guys. I'll do 4:30 to 7, take 2 hours off, then be back on in time for the market open at 9:30. I think that's probably the best way to go. 2 streams a day, and it'll be like 5 hours of streaming in a day. That should be fine, right? Okay, let's go to Twitter and see what's trending, see what's going on in the real world outside of the market. So Mitt Romney is kind of the hope for the Democrats in the Republican Party. He's the guy that hasn't been a huge fan of Trump. He's been quite vocal on that. Trump has made it completely transparent that he's not a fan of Mitt Romney and his failed campaign against Obama. So the two of them go back and forth regularly. Romney is saying that he is not going to clog up the vote for the Supreme Court. If it comes to the Senate floor, they will vote on it. Saturday, we're going to get a Supreme Court nomination. What's up, GXO? I would wait till. So for me, guys, I'm waiting for WPRT to come back down to around $2. Where are they right now? I would wait for them to. I think they're going to come down a little bit more. Oh, they're at $1.83. What? Oh, I'm looking at the Canadian one. That's what's going on. Okay. WPRT. I'm waiting for them to come back down. Holy jumping. They're down below that 250. Yeah, so $2 Canadian is where I see them coming down to. WPRT is one that I traded on the TSX. I am Canadian, guys, so I can trade on there. So when we're looking at this chart, they're at 242 right now. I think they come down to around $2. And that's probably when I would get in. So it's probably around the $1.60 range US, $1.55, $1.60 range. That's when I would look to get back in. If I choose to get back in at all. I did take a win on them. I'm not sure that I go back. I think that it's still a huge opportunity, and if it does come down to that $2 range, I would definitely be interested. But right now, I did move those funds into BlackBerry. I like what they're doing. I like where they're headed. What's happening with WPRT? They got news that the China approval that they got was only from the ecology side. It's not from the actual Ministry of Transportation. The Ministry of Transportation needs to see that the vehicles are going to meet the criteria of being able to function at high elevation and in cold temperatures, which isn't a huge problem for a Canadian company, but it is going to kind of put a wrench in the works as far as the grand scheme of things. Yeah, so I took my win. I took a $700-800 win on WPRT, moved it over into BlackBerry. and I don't regret that at all. I think BlackBerry's going to do quite well on the 24th with their earnings. I expect to see a little bit of a buy up tomorrow into their earnings, but BlackBerry's a long hold. I think I just leave this money in here and continue to average in with wins into BlackBerry over time. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to be doing. All right, guys. It's feeling like we're on a little bit of a lull, and when lull times come around, I'm more than happy to throw up some marbles. But this is good to know that we've got a Supreme Court Justice nominee here that is going to go through. The Pentagon funneled nearly $1 trillion of taxpayer money meant for masks and medical equipment to defense contractors building jet engines and body armor. Yikes. The secret CIA is also listed. This is making the assertion that Russia is using the... Russia is using the Republican Party to do their bidding. Okay. She's 12 is trending, and people are using it to fire shots at Trump. It's actually about a name change. I don't know what the deal is with that. I'm not going to get into it. All right, that's enough of that nonsense, though. Let's do a little bit of Marbies, huh? You guys like this? Let's do this. I can do a breakdown actually, Jacob, for you as soon as we play this round of Marbies. So let's pick a race here. Let's go with the funnel 2. Okay. So all you got to do to play is type in !play. Go ahead, get in. If you guys win, you have two choices. You can... If you win, you can either call out a ticker that you want me to do a breakdown on and look at, or you can time out anybody in chat. Those are both available to you. This is just a fun way to break up the day a little bit here, guys. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Give you guys 20 seconds here to go ahead and enter, and then we will get the ball rolling. Get in. Get in. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to hit start. If you're not in, get in. But if you're not in, get in. Here we go. All right, we got GXO in the lead here. Out early. Marty Sauce is actually in first. I don't know how it decides who's in first, but around and around we go, gentlemen. And we're going to go down this tube here. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I should say. 1 in 10 chance to win. It's pretty solid. One of you going to take it. One of you going to take it. It's a big tube, though. I don't know that the tube needs to be that big. I think that's a little bit... Ooh, there goes Saki. Saki. Okay, we got a little bit of split here. I don't like that dump there. It looks like somebody could fall right off. Where are the rest of you guys? Oh, you're way back there. Okay, nobody died on that first one. Saki's making his run for the second. Marty's catching up here. ADHD right behind him. What are we going to see? What are we going to see? I guess the different colors are the people that are sub. Is that how that works? Is that cool color there is the subbed members? Oh, we got a boost here. Usually the boost goes into somebody getting cocked. Oh yeah, these things pop up, right? So what's going to happen here? No, apparently those don't do anything. They're just red dots. Okay, so this funnel's kind of cool. It's got holes in it. Oh, man. Not slowing down for anybody. Not slowing down for anybody. Somehow Ajax and Chi-Chi's, I guess they're closer to the end. Man, round and around we go. That was not kind of Saki. Knock him right out of the lead on that. The lead is gone. Now we've got an actual race here. 3-man race into the finish. Saki's a hacker. Marty wants it. Marty wants it. They both hit the speed boost. 2 different roads. Chi-Chi's taking the shortcut. It might be Chi-Chi's. It might be Chi-Chi's. Oh no! Off the wall. It's going to be right into the end here. Who's going to do it? Chi-Chi's for the win. Congratulations, Chi-Chi's. Big win at the finish there. So Chi-Chi's, it's up to you, sir. You can put in a stock ticker. You can put in the name of anybody else in chat. It will be a short ROST. Definitely can do that. Okay, so we will do ROST here, guys, and then we will do I will give you my breakdown on BlackBerry. So let's take a look at our OST. I like that you guys are open to that idea of me actually taking a look at stock and breaking things down. Okay, so Ross stores. For those of you that don't know, Ross is kind of like a discount chain in the States. Resellers, kind of like Winners. Look at INSG for my 3rd place. Yeah, it's a discount store. My issue with Ross is that they are really brick and mortar. Okay, their online e-commerce offering is garbage. It is really bad, and you want to take that into note for sure. It beat on revenue on their last earnings. Back to school could be good for them. Christmas, I mean, the e-commerce, the lack of e-commerce in Ross is a big, big risk. And headed into second wave, I don't know why I would pick Ross over another online distributor. So my thoughts on Ross are, don't expect it to decline necessarily back down to these low levels, the 60 level, but I wouldn't expect it to go back up to this 125 either. Their inability to translate sales to an online marketplace is to their detriment in a big way. In a big, big way. Jacob Ling, let me tag you here. I don't know if you're still around, Jacob. But yeah, that's my thought on it, is that it's really got to be there. So with BlackBerry, guys, BlackBerry back in the day was known as, it was RIM. They were the phone company. They came out with the phones that had the little type pads on it, which at the time was revolutionary because most phones sucked at that, and this one made it really usable. What's happened over time, though, if we go to the max on this, you'll see that at one point it was up around the, at its peak, it was over $200, right? And the reality is this: what happened was BlackBerry fell out of favor in a big way. And it continued to, this is the recession back here in 2008, declined, came back up a little bit, was around the $100 mark. And then BlackBerry just didn't really do anything for a while. Its phones become obsolete. Other than government contracts, it didn't really have anything. Other than India, it didn't really have anything, and it kept declining. At this point here, what we saw happen was we saw BlackBerry kind of reinvent itself. Okay, we're not about phones anymore. We can't be about phones. Let's scrap the hardware and focus on software. And that's what they've been doing ever since, is really focusing on software. And they've gone up and down around that, $5 to $10 range. But for me with BlackBerry, what they've started to do is pick up some big things. So let's take a look at this, okay? U.S. Air Force is a partner. TELUS is a partner. QNX is a partner. What's this about a... Memex is a new exchange, and BlackBerry's trading on it. It's one of the 4 securities initially traded on it. So BlackBerry, Casti Pharma, ICSH, these are all being traded on a Wall Street-backed exchange. So that's good news for BlackBerry. Fairfax is holding BlackBerry debt. QNX and StradVision are automated driving plays. Another automotive play, another Vodafone uses BlackBerry for crisis communications. So this is a major phone company. Canoe, for those of you guys that like EV, there's a new. Why is there a new exchange? I don't know. I'll have to read that more. I didn't even know that existed, but that news dropped yesterday. They're paired with Canoe, which is an upcoming EV vehicle. They're with them on their automated driving. There's more partnerships here. The good news here just keeps going, right? Shopify, BlackBerry developing COVID tracing app, so they're working with Shopify. You've got Bell Canada, which is one of the largest telecom providers in the country. You've got they're teaming with Amazon on their connected cars. So this is a lot of really kind of cool pairings that we see. Companies like Snapchat, Shopify, Bell Canada, Amazon, the U.S. Air Force, TELUS, like these are all big names, and for a company to be at $4, $5, providing the security and software for all of that, I think it's extremely undervalued. Now, do I see them back up at $200 a share? Not in the near future. Do I see them definitely undervalued, and they should be closer to the $18, $20 range? Yes. So for me, this is a long-term hold. I'm willing to hold BlackBerry up until that $15, $20 range. And then I'll reconsider the position based off of where I see them going. But that's kind of the due diligence that I see on BlackBerry. A new exchange backed by Wall Street banks and asset management behemoth BlackRock. So BlackRock and Wall Street banks have created a new exchange, the MEMEX. Edison was the first trade. September 29th, it opens up to all, but there are only 7 stocks currently on that exchange. Yeah, they have pivoted from that. They're licensing on anything with hardware. They out-license that. So there are only 7 stocks available on this thing right now. Edison is one of them, Alphabet, ExxonMobil, ACST, and BlackBerry. BlackBerry is one of the few things on this exchange. And these companies all came together because they're frustrated with the fees over the major exchanges. So it exists because of the fees. They're tired of paying the fees that the New York Stock Exchange, ICE, NASDAQ, and CBOE charge. So the new exchange plans to charge lower fees for the existing exchanges and to initially give away its data for free. Ooh. Anything traded on this as of September 29th, you can gain the data on it for free. For the initial period, it plans to pay out more in rebates than it collects. Prepared to be aggressive and lose money on every transaction to get people to participate. That's huge. So early adoption, that's if you're going to get paid to use this exchange, there's no reason for you not to have your stock on it. You know, I haven't played around with that. I should really consider that. I don't even know what options that you have. So BlackRock, Bank of America, Citigroup, E-Trade, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Ameritrade, UBS, and Wells Fargo are all investors in this. This is a bank-owned exchange. That seems crazy. I'm going to do another marbles before I head out at noon. So there will be one more. And if you choose a stock, that'll be the last thing I do on the day is break down your stock. I mean, looking at the stocks that are on this, so Edison is a little bit bigger, right? It's a $70 stock, but you look at the rest of them that are the initial 7. I guess Exxon and Alphabet are bigger stocks too, but I mean ACST is a $24 20% stock. BlackBerry is a $4.80 stock. iShares US is 50. Like, there's nothing that's huge on this. Very interesting, though. So September 29th is when this takes off. I'm very much wondering whether or not that will have a positive effect on stock price. I know ACST took a real hit the other day. I got burned on that drop. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to affect retail traders or not. It looks like they're trying to make a better platform for trading. I don't know if it's going to be zero commission. It doesn't say, but it is definitely interesting. It's definitely something to take note of. Okay, so Boeing has a UV wand. It's entered into a patent technology license with Florida-based Health E, which will manufacture an ultraviolet wand designed to sanitize airplane interiors. So essentially, you would have a wand that you run over these seats, and that's how that would work. It will sanitize a flight deck in less than 15 minutes. The wand is an addition to sanitizing and protective measures already in place, which include the use of high-efficiency particulate air filters that trap more than 99%. Could benefit schools, hospitals, offices, wherever pathogens go. Okay, so Boeing is moving into COVIDia, the land of COVIDia, the home of the free, the land of the brave and the stupid. Yeah, it's a Boeing play. I'm actually not a huge fan of that Boeing thing. You know what I mean? It just. How do you add? So here's all those things, but where do you add what you can buy with these Canuck bucks? I gotta look into that. I gotta figure that out. How you change what those options are. Yeah, I mean, BA has its approval coming up. It has this UV play now. Boop. I'm just trying to find the place that you decide what those are, because I don't know how you add those options. I don't know how to freaking do that. I'll figure it out. I'll add that. I'll make a note to add that at some point today. Option to spend Canuck bucks. I'll figure out how to do it. I have no idea how to do that. It's something in Stream Elements. I am a boomer when it comes to that, ladies and gentlemen. I do not have any grasp on how to do that. Oh, perfect. You guys are hooking me up with all the info that I need. So I'll look at that later today and see how do I adjust that and use that. Oh, it's actually inside the Twitch dashboard? Really? Oh. Can you convert Canuck bucks to US dollars? Negative. Negative. Actual Canadian dollars are not worth much in US dollars, so Canuck bucks are worth even less. But yeah, I will put that option out there. I'll work on that later today. Okay, Powell, in testimony before the House, Mnuchin said he's open to lowering the Main Street lending facility limit. Meanwhile, Fed Chair told the committee he believes that loans under $1 million are more appropriate for the Paycheck Protection Program. The minimum loan under the program is $500,000. Powell saying that we should be able to do less than that. A million CB to 1 USD. That sounds about right. That sounds about right, to be honest. Again, guys, huge thank you to everybody who's following, subscribing, wherever you may be watching. Greatly appreciate that, whether it's Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Here on Twitch. He's a Republican. This has got to be Mitt Romney, right? So he's a Republican. We are in full tantrum mode on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, because the Supreme Court justice will be nominated and voted on before Trump leaves office. Yahoo Finance, what do we got going on there? Have to reopen the economy is the message coming from him. So the UA isn't looking to back out of NCAA. Whoa, Ticho with the Twitch Prime subscribe. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciated. Lots of amazing channels on Twitch, so that you're willing to throw me that is always appreciated. Walmart ups the ante in contactless. This is interesting. There may be a dronage play here. Quest Diagnostics and Drone Up to pilot drone delivery of the kits. DGX and Walmart. Interesting. The U.S. should not have a sovereign wealth fund. Unions are looking to bite into Uber and Lyft. This is an ongoing thing. So this is happening live here. This Fed thing. For me, they don't have much to say. Both sides are saying the same thing. Mnuchin constantly is reiterating we need to spend reasonably, whereas Powell comes out and says I can't do anything. Yeah, Walmart wants a piece of every pie for sure, and I don't know that I can blame them on that. The New York Fed, what does it have here? Direction of fintech by the Fed. That's kind of no news for me as far as that goes. Yeah, I mean, Walmart's making moves into Q4. It has to, right? Walmart is that big player into Q4 that we're expecting to see come in. Yeah. All right, guys, it's coffee o'clock. I'm gonna go grab that coffee and I'm gonna make it delicious in my belly. But when that happens, you know that I'm gonna give that shout out to Restream. So let's do that now. I'll be right back. Oh, tell me you're kidding. Really? The audio didn't play? Anyways, guys, Restream is the one that makes it so that I can talk to everybody on all the different platforms, whether it's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Such is the thing of me being incompetent with audio today. I don't know what the deal is with audio. Can you hear now? My goodness. You gotta love it, right? You gotta love it. Sometimes I am just that much of a boomer. That's who I am. Anyway, guys, Restream, love the tool. It lets me talk to everybody on all the different platforms all at once. If you are a streamer, whether professionally for business or otherwise, and you are not using that, yeah, if you're not using that, just throw your mic through. I love it. I love Restream. I love what it does. I love that it doesn't lock you down and it makes it super simple for you to be able to go in, use the tool. And if you're just trying to pick up streaming and go, it's a heck of a lot easier to use than OBS. Even just the chat feature alone is enough on it. So I'm a huge fan of it. Huge fan of their sponsorship of the stream. There's the shout out on them, guys. Let's get back down to it here. So news about Powell is going to keep coming in. What else we got going on? SiriusXM is expanding their broadcast agreement with the NFL now that they know that the NFL is here to stay. Extended their deal with Kevin Hart. Yeah, you can use. Yeah, you decide how many platforms you want to send it to. So if you just wanted to send it to Twitch, you can definitely just send it to Twitch if you wanted. Works with OBS. Yeah, I'm using it in OBS right now. So the chat that you guys see is the Restream chat. That's why you see things popping up from YouTube or Twitch in there. It works in conjunction with OBS. All I do is I capture. I use a browser capture for it. So there's an online URL that you can grab for the chat, and it'll just grab the chat for you and pull it in, and people can see it as it drops. And you can pick the style and whatnot on that as well. So kind of a cool feature that they got set up so it works in conjunction with OBS instead of you just kind of doing whatever. ACST rip. Yeah, I honestly would just encourage people to get started. If you're interested in it, just hop on, give it a shot. Okay, side-eye is what I wanted to look at because they've got a meeting at some point today, I thought. So 6 p.m. Pacific time tonight. Side-eye will be doing a meeting with Dr. Bean from YouTube. So Mobeen Syed. We go again. We go again. What's up, Mark? Yeah, it looks like I'm going to start doing this twice a day. I'm going to start doing a pre-market analysis, due diligence on the stocks from 4:30 a.m. till 7, and then I'm going to hop back on from 9:20 till noon, actually breaking down the market as it's live. And that way we kind of get to touch with everybody. I get to hang out with the people from Europe and Asia earlier in the morning, as well as any East Coasters or West Coasters that are insane, like to get up early. And then as the market opens, kind of the rest of the world is awake, and we'll go with that. But yeah, I don't mind mixing it up, and then the rest of the day I'll spend doing real boy stuff, real world stuff with clients and coaching and whatnot. Okay, so this is good because so they're going to go over their COVID results, their upcoming trials, the BLA submission for the HIV, their NASDAQ listing, I believe, is up here. Future cancer trials, NASH trials, stroke victims. Don't see anything but the NASDAQ listing here. I thought this originally had NASDAQ listing on it. That's one of the big ones. If I was Cytodyne, that's where I'd be leaning into right now is NASDAQ. My dollar cost average on this is not where I would like it to be. It's quite high. I'm sitting at 527, so I'm down about $1,100 on this. I am still very confident in the data and in the drug. So I'm not willing to cut bait on this yet. I think that it has huge potential to run up, but time will tell as to what it's actually going to do. Yeah, so we'll wait and see on that. I am fairly confident of the BlackBerry position, increasing that BlackBerry position today, throwing another couple grand in there. How far has WPRT fallen? So it looks like it's leveling out around that 240 line, which is, I mean, it's decent. If it's going to decide that this is as far it's going to go, okay. But I would still like to give it a few days, even a week, just to see what it does. I think BlackBerry's going to be super strong for me here. I think I'm tempted to actually just put another $2,000 into space. You couldn't find that news on WPRT? Somebody dropped us the link on it earlier. But if you search WPRT on Google, go to news, it should pop up. There it is. Thank you kindly, Roscoe. All right, guys, we got 10 minutes to go here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to run another game of Marbies here. We're going to do some marbles. Winner, as always, guys, is you can time out. You can time out somebody, or you can pick the stock that we look at. Let's just pick a random track. Go ahead, hit play. Get your pick in here if you want me to choose your stock. Everybody in? Everybody in. All right, that looks like everybody, and away we go. Oh, this one falls. I wasn't ready for that. All right. Sanixani taking an early lead here. Oh, everybody's kind of getting bogged down here. Roscoe wants it. Oh, this thing's a flipper. Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that one before. We go again. Saki. Now, Saki had this last time, guys. Saki had the lead, and he wasn't able to hold it. So we'll see. Chainmail dropping out first. Roscoe right behind him. Saki going for a long dive. He almost hit that on the bottom, but Saki will not be winning this time around, ladies and gentlemen. Took the long fall of doom. Chainmail, round and round we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Jacob coming in the rear here in third. Now that you can get bogged down here. Chainmail gets through. Roscoe gets through. Uh-oh, Chainmail. Chainmail hit the reverse boost. Roscoe is stuck in this pipe. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, we got like this snake cobra thing going on here. Jacob takes second. Roscoe! Okay, so the risk here, I think, is that you can actually pop out there. Roscoe's going. Oh, Roscoe's taking the long way around. He looks like he's stuck in there. I don't know what's actually going on in there, but there's something. Jacob just shot right past Roscoe. This thing is going to hop this? Is that what we're doing? You're actually going to get shot. Okay. Jacob gets shot and survives. Chainmail survives. Roscoe survives. Nobody. Oh, Sanixani. It looks like he's going for that middle pipe. He's going to take the lead on that. And we are into the fire bridge. It's a 1 in 9 chance. You get to pick your stock. You get to have me break that down for you. 1 in 8 chance. That's true. Oh, look at that narrow little ramp there. Is this going to go well? Is this going to go well? Does he hit it? Oh, he's out. Rip. Okay, Marty McSauce in the lead. Can he make the jump? Roscoe down. Marty's the sole survivor at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what he does here. I don't know what we... Is he bouncing off? Okay, he's in the bottom. Oh, ADHD saying he wants it. We've lost 4, boys. We've lost 4. Only 5 remain. ADHD. ADHD from the back, from the rear, takes it. ADHD. Congratulations, man. Solid finish to a solid race. The rest of these guys are picking up. Ghost is taking his time. Slow and steady, he says. That's going to win the race. Marty McSauce coming in. TFE is the stock we are going to take a look at here before we head out for the day. So let's do that. Close this down. Okay, so we will pop out of that. PFE. Pfizer. Okay, thoughts on Pfizer are this, guys. I am not as bullish on Pfizer as many are. People see the vaccine race and Pfizer as a leader in that. I think Pfizer may be one of the first to get through their COVID vaccine, but at what cost? Pfizer has all but cut their opioid production in order to meet this COVID pipeline. The issue with that is they would have made more money staying in opioids than moving into COVID at this point. So for me, do I see Pfizer being an $80 stock? No. Hitting the top of their range at the 41, 42, 43 range? Absolutely. Pfizer has a solid pipeline. They've been approved before. There's a good chance COVID, they get to be one of the first to market, but that doesn't mean that they're the best in market. So with Pfizer, do I think there's room to grow? Absolutely. Do I see them around that $40, $45 range? Absolutely. Do I see them at the $80 range? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. My thoughts on Pfizer is that it is okay in the interim. If you're looking for a small gain of, 8%, 9%, you're going to see it. But I don't expect Pfizer to double up. I don't see it happening, okay? But that's definitely my thoughts on Pfizer. I know there are people that are a lot more bullish on Pfizer. For me, guys, my pick has been AstraZeneca, SideEye, and iPix on the COVID plays. I think iPix has the best solution to the problem. I think that AstraZeneca has a diverse pipeline, and they're a bigger player. And I think CYDY is kind of a middle ground. I think leronlimab may be the cure for HIV, which is what I'm more interested in, but they could use the COVID hype to fund and fuel that. So Pfizer is not my favorite pick. I don't like it as the winner, so that's why I'm not in it. Am I bearish on it? No, I'm not bearish on it, but I do think that the gains on it are limited for what I'm looking at. So I never went near Novavax. I don't like them. I don't like their pipeline. I don't like their company. I am bearish on Novavax. But that's it for me today, guys. It was a blast hanging out with all of you guys. I do appreciate everybody swinging through, being here, lurking, and learning. I will be doing this, looks like, moving forward. So 4:30 a.m. to 7 Eastern Standard Time will be pre-market, due diligence, analysis, and then I will be going live for the market from 9:30 till noon every day. So that'll be me as a full-time streamer, and we can take it from there day by day and see how we're doing. But if you guys have any feedback, feel free to shoot it to me. Otherwise, have an amazing day. I'm going to head over here and see how we do this, because I apparently you can just go here and go here and then go here. And then how do you do this thing where you say, okay, you want to go here. Later, ladies and gentlemen. Have an amazing day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.